Hello and welcome back to another day in the 1 month game dev challenge. In this video I'll show you how I managed to get the item selector working like you see on the bottom right part, and also if we shoot with a weapon that the ammunition counter gets reduced. So let's jump right into it. So let's dive right into it. So at first we just want to create the action for our weapon switch. I think the mouse wheel is the right one, so add a new action, call it switch. I might want to turn off the autosave. Switch weapon. I think that's good. And yeah, button is will do for that. So the path will be the mouse, or is it called scroll wheel? How it's called? Let's see, mouse. And then let's see if we got some kind of middle button. Nope, that's not the one. So scroll Y mouse it is. It's a value and an axis right here. So I'm gonna save that. Save asset. Nice. And then add this to my player controller. Maybe I refactor the name a bit so it's called something like, I don't know, input controller or something like that. Because player controller is, in my opinion, not the correct way for that. But I think there's, yeah, it's just an idea for later. So switch weapon action. And then we also want to find this and add a listener for this event. So we got the switch action weapon right here. Switch weapon. Nice. And then on switch weapon started. And on switch weapon stopped. Nice. So let's just create these both. Let's just copy these and copy the name of that to make it really simple. So we can remove this one, and then I think we can use the weapon controller. Alright, we got a reference to that weapon controller. Switch weapon, and then we can, I think, give the value of that. So we got the switch weapon action dot read value it is, I think. And it was it a float? I don't know. I think we'll see if there's something like that in the error message. So let's just check if this is working. Let's debug this right here with a V, and then we can see if this is working. I hope so. So we got a 120 and minus. So when I scroll down, it's minus. When I scroll up, it's 120 in the positive section. But I think we also can clamp these already in our player input settings. So let's do that right away, I think. We have a processor here, and we want to clamp it between, I think, -1 and 1. So let's save this and just test it right away. I also did some things off screen, something like the reloading of the scene each time. So we can speed up our development process. And you see, if I scroll up, you see 1. If I scroll down, it's -1. Nice. So we now know that we can have this input right here. So for that, we might want to also have the current weapon ID or the inventory ID space in there. So let's have a integer and read out what the current weapon slot ID is, or index. And for that, we can adjust this. So if v is smaller 0, else if we subtract 1, and if it's positive, then we want to add some. For that, we also maybe want to have some kind of reference to our inventory controller, because we want to check what's the current item slot is. So let's add it right here. Private inventory controller, and in our awake function, or in the start function, where it is, to get the inventory controller from our game object. So we have this here, and there we go. This is our inventory right here. And that's kind of bad because we have a dictionary here, but we might also want to have it the other way around. Maybe we want to refactor this to add some kind of list, but having something like an inventory slot. So it's not a UI inventory slot, it's just a normal inventory slot. We call it inventory slots, and with this we can have the slot where we can say, okay, this is the slot ID, we have the slot weapon, we have the slot ammunition or something like that. And I think that's a pretty cool idea. I just have this class right there at the bottom of the file, and let's say slot ID public weapon is weapon, and public int ammunition. There you go. And I think this will already do. Of course, we want to make it a bit more cleaner, something like this is all private, and have a property for that. So let's just copy this one, make it all public, make the property names capital, and just make a getter function out of it. So for the get, we want to return the ammo, and for the set, we want to have the ammunition set by the value. Nice. Oops, so it's an O. Yeah, and we can just copy this here and there, and just say, okay, this is the weapon, also weapon, and here it is, the slot ID. Hooray! So we have a nice model class, the inventory slot, and there we now can say, okay, we want this that way. Maybe let's make also a convenient method, naming it setup, where we can pass in the slot ID, the weapon Azo and the ammo. Yeah, this is kind of good. So, nice. Yeah, and that's it for the interesting part. But I read some comments and some friends said, hey, yo, these videos are a bit too long. So in this time lapse, you see some functional editing where I add the ammunition counter so that if you shoot, the ammunition gets reduced, and if you pick up some ammunition, it gets increased again. And also the UI implementation for the switch weapon stuff. So if you scroll down, that the weapon to the right gets selected, and if you scroll up, that the weapon to the left gets selected, and some edge cases like the boundary. So if you're on the top, on the total of the left side and scroll up, it starts at the most right item again. And I think that's it. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, then please hit the like button. If you do not want to miss any updates on my game Azaryia or on this 1 month game dev challenge, then please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications. And we see us tomorrow again. Bye bye.